a new experience for grocery shopping.
Keeping our building warm for the winter.
Who runs the world? Girls.
Is cursive writing a lost art?
New face on the football field. I'm Grace Campbell.
And I'm Logan Richardson. All of this and more on this edition of OTVX.
Hi, I'm Kara Holden.
And I'm Erin Knightley.
And you're watching OTVX.
Ellen Hart Jr. and you're watching OTVX.
What's up, Oldham County, where the funny at? You gon' make us get up early, cameras, OTVX, bringing you the news and the funny. You're rolled into one. Tell us who your colonels is. OTVX #1. We got what you need. What you need. What you need.
OTVX. Top of the morn, lasses and laddies, and happy St. Patrick's Day. Today is a celebration of Irish heritage. Cities all over the world are celebrating the Irish patron saint who spread Christianity to Ireland. Rock the green today and be on the lookout for that pot of gold.
Grocery shopping has always been a bore. Jungle Gym in Cincinnati offers a new experience to grocery shop all around the world. With food from Morocco to Vietnam, go to Jungle Gym to broaden your culinary horizons. Taylor Nash passes the plate and gives us a bite of what Jungle Gym has to give.
Spring break is on its way and you won't have to spend it wasting money on the same local foods. This break, you can take your taste buds on a magical, delectable tour of the world and even enjoy a car ride with your friends. It may not be close by, but the drive is worth it if you go with the right people. Up in Cincinnati, Ohio, you can go to an international food market known as Jungle Gyms. Jungle Gyms offers multiple foods from all over the world. As you walk around the market, you can watch the chefs prepare the food fresh for you to purchase. It ranges from sushi, cheeses, desserts, breads, and all kinds of candy. If you're looking for a unique shopping experience, Jungle Gyms is your best choice. Taylor Nash, OTVX.
A recent explosion has rocked our school, but don't worry, it was an explosion of yarn. Yarn bombing is a trend that has rocked the nation, and some of OC's own give it a try. Mitchell Smith ties us up with the threads surrounding our school.
What started as a school project soon turned into a school-wide occurrence. Miss Kidwell, the inspiration behind the yarn bombing, showed her students a TED Talk about a person who some consider the mother of yarn bombing. Magna Sags talked about her experience with the yarn bombing. This in turn was the inspiration that students needed to turn the more bland parts of our school into beautiful pieces of art.
Some say it's a new graffiti. Is it art or is it just yarn? We asked some students involved and some bystanders what they thought.
I chose Yarn Bomb because the school has paintings on the walls showing beauty in the world, and I think it would just be a good idea to participate in that and add some more color.
Inspiration for yarn bombing was a TED Talk that we watched in humanities class with Ms. Kidwell. The future plans include yarn bombing almost all of the stairwell handrails and the poles outside of the English wing.
So far, I have two opinions. One, I like how it makes, like the railings a lot more colorful. And two, it's just me naturally. I naturally have more like slippery hands. So this really helps me, like if in case like my shoe's untied and I'm about to fall down the stairs. So I just grab the railing and it saves me from busting my head open.
Be prepared for more yarn bombings, and remember, be respectful to their art.
Mitchell Smith from OTVX signing off.
March is Women's Month, but don't worry men, you still have every other month of the year. As a time to celebrate the brave and intellectual women throughout the ages, March gives us a chance to reflect on the better half of the population. Allison Middleton goes in depth about two women in American history we know little about.
Women's History Month is an annual declared month that highlights the contributions of women to events in history and contemporary society. It is celebrated during March in the United States, the United Kingdom, and Australia, corresponding with International Women's Day on March 8th. As history has progressed, we have gotten closer to having a woman president, but what if we already had an unofficial woman president back in 1919 after World War I? President Woodrow Wilson collapsed from physical exhaustion and suffered a major stroke and was unable to fully function during his second presidential term. Because of this, his wife, Edith Wilson, decided to step in while her husband was recovering, which was to remain secret to the public. She wouldn't consider giving the job to the vice president or resigning because she feared it would depress her husband, who was so passionate about his job. She worked inside her husband's bedroom and would meet with cabinet members when they came in to confer. If they had policy papers or pending decisions for him to review, edit, or approve, she would first look over the material herself. If she deemed the matters pressing enough, she took the paperwork into her husband's room, where she claimed she would read all the necessary documents to him. Many historians believe that the handwriting that she claimed was her husband wrote on documents was actually her own. So for several months, Edith ran the country behind closed doors at a time women were even struggling to vote. This was an amazing feat by her and a small unvoiced step in the rights of women in politics. Elizabeth Jennings Graham was also a lesser-known, but as equally amazing, historical woman. She was an African-American teacher and a civil rights activist in 1850 and 60s. On Sunday, July 16, 1854, Jennings was on her way to the First Colored Congregational Church, where she was the organist. As she was running late, she boarded a streetcar on 3rd Avenue Railroad Company. The conductor ordered her to get off because it was a whites-only streetcar, where she refused. The conductor tried to remove her by force. Eventually, with the aid of a police officer, Jennings was ejected from the streetcar. Jennings filed a lawsuit against the driver and the company, which led to an organized movement to end racial discrimination on streetcars. The courts ruled in her favor, saying colored persons, if sober, well-behaved, and free from disease, had the same rights as any others and could neither be excluded by any rules of the company nor by force or violence. After that day of the trial, the company desegregated their streetcars. She was the predecessor to Rosa Parks, who is way more well-known than her, but she did just as an amazing feat. There have been many women throughout history that have been as exceptional, but today I highlighted a few of them. Elizabeth Jennings Graham and Edith Wilson. Allison Middleton, OTVX.
Can you cross your T's and dot your I's? Or is cursive becoming a lost art? The debate for cursive writing to be part of the education curriculum is heating up across the country. Reporters Jake Funk and Rosemary Kent investigate just how forgotten the art of cursive and reading has become.
Recently, politicians have been debating the importance of teaching cursive handwriting in schools. Here at OTVX, we decided to see for ourselves if OCHS colonels possess this controversial skill. First, we administered a basic alphabet test to see if students could identify the commonly misinterpreted letters Q, Z, and F.
Q, Z, F? L, Z, and F.
Those are numbers.
Next, we asked participants to read a sample text written in cursive. Many students had trouble deciphering the script.
Do not weep, maiden, for war is kind.
Because you're loving through wood. What's that word there? Hands.
Toward the sky. And the something
ran on alone.
Do not weep, maiden, for is kind.
We found that some students had never even been taught cursive.
Yeah, because I don't even know how to write my name in cursive correctly.
Historically, cursive was the most prominent form of script. Most crucial documents from the precipice of our nation are written in cursive. This is why many politicians argue for the teaching of the skill in schools today. We asked our students to read a passage from a very well-known document, the Constitution of the United States.
When in the course of human events, it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another.
While some students could read the document fluently, others had a bit of trouble.
Which have connected them with another, and to...
Which have connected them with another, and to...
Here at OTVX, we believe that cursive writing, if not somewhat antiquated, is a useful skill to have in the world today. The foundation of our country is rooted in cursive writing. This is Jake Funk, OTVX.
Excellent! Looks like a serial killer.
The first football game of the new season is months away, and a new coach is taking the team in new directions. Calvin Huff takes us inside spring training.
Recently, I caught up with new head football coach Michael Fox, and I asked him how he felt coming from a championship-winning school like Trinity to a school that's had its fair share of struggles like OC.
You know, the thing that's exciting for me is I'm very familiar with this district, so coming from Bullitt County, I know Bullitt East, Bullitt Central, North Bullitt very well. I actually live in Bardstown right now, so I'm also very familiar with Nelson County. So, you know, I told the guys the first day that I'm not going to shy away from saying our goal this year is to compete for a district and regional championship. Now, you know, we might not reach that goal yet, but if that's the ceiling and the kind of the bar we set for ourselves, you know, that's what we're going to achieve. If we say, you know, hey, if we beat a couple of teams, beat North Oldham, and we're happy, then that's maybe the maximum we can achieve. So I think we can be competitive. I keep hearing this word potential, that again, if we can really commit in the weight room and get bigger and stronger, if we find some guys in the building that maybe haven't been playing that need to be out and help us a little bit, I think our potential is really unlimited at this point.
We then asked him what his expectations for the team this upcoming season are.
You know, I've tried to do my homework as well, and, you know, the thing that came up a lot was, you know, discipline and accountability, and I told the interview committee that it's easy to sort of say some of that stuff and put a plan on paper, but that's going to be one of those things that really has to come from me. When we have a situation where we have some rules and some expectations, you know, I have to be very consistent. And I think the guys will understand that, you know, it's discipline, but it's also we want to take care of you as a kid and a player first and a student, and then the football part's going to come from that. So I think getting everybody to buy in and really understand that it's a grind. It's a year-long process really to be good in football anymore. People are lifting all season long, and the kids are going to have to see that it's really that more than the X's and O's of football. It's really just buying into that process and committing to make ourselves better 12 months out of the year.
We also interviewed expected captain and rising senior Ryan Galloway and asked him the goal of the team moving forward.
Just to be better than we have in the past and to improve on each other and to become a better team as a whole.
Excited to join the school and the community. Met the guys on Wednesday and I told them that there's not a secret offense or defense. If there was, everybody would run it. They're going to find out it's a process. It's going to start this Monday. It takes a lot of hard work. But I think if they trust us as a staff and buy into that process, you're going to be very proud of the product you're going to see on the field this fall. So anyway, we just wanted to say thank you for your continued support and go Colonels.
Underclassmen will be entering their course requests next week. Be sure to come to the computer lab prepared with your completed schedule form. Also, all JCT applications are due Wednesday, March 29th. Be sure to have all the required signatures.
Good luck, juniors, with your ACT next Tuesday. Give your best. Don't forget about the state science field test next Thursday. All other grade levels will be sure you know the scheduling for the next texting days. I'm Grace Campbell.
And I'm Logan Richardson. Thanks for watching this episode of OTVX, and have a great weekend.
Okay, yeah, here we go. That's good. I'm good. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Here we go. We're good.
Can you identify these letters?
Mike's in the shot.
In the shot, but don't look at the mic. Look at the camera.
I think I have something in my teeth.
Smile.
You're good. You're good.
I mean, I can feel like celery or something.
You're fine. You're good.
Is it really?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay. So I mean, you can write quicker with cursive, and that is a very necessary thing you need to know for the future.
It's not true.
I don't think so.
Why aren't you writing
something different other than like print?
If we make cursive the standard, it'll be better for everyone.
But it's like 2017. Why would we change it now? If we all know how to read print, why just leave it as is?
Because frick you, Jeb.
No, in cursive.
No,
you have to write it. You have to write it in cursive. You can't write it in print. She forgot her apostrophe between the R-E and the U. There you go. Okay.
That's the wrong your.
Oh!
That's wrong yours.
What?
He's right.
Hold up, redo that one.